Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Tea Time Tuesday. Good afternoon. Well, good evening. Good evening, tea timers. Okay, I'm stuck on the afternoon. We welcome everyone to Tea Time Tuesday. We're so excited that you are joining with us once again, our Tea Time community. This is our fourth Tuesday, and it's our special tea time. You know, we always do it on the evening at 7 p.m. And so we want to welcome all of you and ask you to invite your friends and your family to come on and join us. We're streaming live over there on YouTube, and we have a YouTube channel. And if you have not subscribed and you're able to subscribe, go ahead and like and subscribe over there. And then like and share this broadcast with others. We're so excited that we're here tonight. So we'll be able to get the audience that tunes in the evening time. And so we're so excited that you all are here with us once again. We're here for pause, reset, and building resilience. And so we ask that you guys would grab your tea and grab your tea time journal. We're going to be taking up part 2 of what we did last month, where Patrick brought us a Tea Time Tuesday renewal practice entitled Safeguarding Your Well-Being During Times of Upheaval. And so this is part 2. So grab your journals so that we can take some really good notes today, so we can find some good nuggets to apply it to ourselves. And so This is Black History Month. We're going to be closing out this month with Black History. And just to say thanks to all of the African Americans that have contributed to society, to the world, and to our communities. It brought us great contributions. And so as we are celebrating here at the Renewal Center, know the past and shape the future. And that's our motto for Black History Month. And so we're really excited about that. And so while we are getting ready for the rest of Tea Time Tuesday, we're going to jumpstart our evening with the tea of the week. And our tea of the week is English breakfast tea. Now, most of us know about English breakfast tea. It's an old staple, very popular tea. It's really a combination blend of Assam tea or Assam tea, Ceylon, and other Black teas. It originated in the late 18th century. So it's been around a long time, very robust Black tea flavor. And so once again, the Renewal Center's tea of the week is English breakfast tea. And so with that, go ahead and put your tea of choice in the chat. We'd love to hear what you're drinking tonight. How y'all doing over there, Patrick and Hope? What y'all drinking today? What's y'all's tea?
Actually, I have cinnamon tea this evening. So cinnamon. Mm-hmm.
I actually have sparkling lime water, but later on.
Hope I can't hear your audio.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. There you go. We're good.
Okay. I don't know. Okay, great.
Yeah.
I'm having lime sparkling water, and later on, I'm going to have some blackberry tea. Later on.
Blackberry. Okay. All right.
Blackberry tea.
That sounds real good. Blackberry tea and sparkling. That's real. What is it? Antioxidant. Detox. That's real good. And cinnamon got a little spice going on over there. So this is good.
Yes.
Let's see, I have turmeric tea tonight.
Okay.
All right. All this health going on.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass the baton to Hope so she could take us into our other segment of our Tea Time Tuesday.
All right. So as we all know, Tea Time community, again, welcome to Tea Time. And we are getting ready to, as a community, go into our time of locating ourselves. This is where we take a time to pause. It's been a long day. We want to take a time to pause so we can reset and be ready to go into our tea time this evening. So we're just going to take a moment to just close your eyes, just begin to breathe, just begin to relax and allow the thoughts of your mind to just slow down. So we're going to take a time to locate ourselves. All right. Isn't that refreshing? Isn't that great? A time to pause. Again, welcome to Tea Time. If you're new, this was just our time of locating ourselves. So we're going to get ready to go into our tea time this evening. So turn it over to you, Patrick.
All right. Thank you so much, Carmela. Thank you so much, Hope. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Tea Time. Go ahead and hashtag well-being in the comments, well-being, because we're going to focus on safeguarding our well-being. We, as Carmela shared earlier, couple of weeks, actually at the beginning of the month, that was what we concentrated on. And I posed a question, which was, what role can you play in safeguarding your well-being during this global upheaval? So during what's taking place in your world, whether it's national, political, local, global, because there's a lot of movement, there's a lot of misinformation, there's a lot of information overload. What role can you play in safeguarding your well-being? And so I want to emphasize well-being this evening. So go ahead, put in the comments, well-being. That is our issue today. We're going to focus on safeguarding. What have you been doing? If you caught us the last time, I want to hear from you. What did you do differently based upon what we shared a few weeks ago? We're going to dig into that this evening. A few more principles just to make sure from a renewal practice perspective, because we're about pausing, resetting, and building resilience. We're going to do all three. Matter of fact, those three principles is what will renew you if we learn to pause and stop. And there's some things we do need to pause. Wouldn't you agree, everybody? There's some things we do need to pause, some things we need to reset, and some things we need to do to build our resilience. And so, again, everybody go ahead and put in the comments, well-being, hashtag well-being. I am renewal. That's the emphasis. So I want to concentrate on that. And then what we'll do is we'll focus on next Tuesday. We're going to continue with this, but we're going to focus on some areas of stillness and learning how to not be in a hurry. And that's going to be next. But today we want to start back with the same focus that we have had from the first of the month. All right. So I'm going to go through a couple of renewal practices to help us in safeguarding. I will recap just briefly what we talked about how to acknowledge where you are with your thoughts, acknowledging what's going on the inside. We talked about working on your mindset, thinking about what you're doing to work on your mindset. We also relate to focus on what you can control. If something is out of your control, you focus on what you can control, not what you can't control. And then you think about ways you can influence that. We also talked about reframing, the power of reframing challenges as opportunities. I began to use an example about how when you buy a picture, all right, some kind of painting, when you reframe it, however you reframe it, you can see other details in it because of the framing. And sometimes the way that we look at life and look at actions and activities, all right, we can reframe. And when we reframe it, we will look at it differently. We talked about how to adjust our expectations. Many times that we have an expectation that we demanded or put on others, when we don't get that expectation, what ends up happening is we end up in frustration. And then we talked about being flexible, patient, and sticking to a routine. So before I go forward, Carmela and Hope, any thoughts on the recaps maybe that, we started out the first of the month talking about safeguarding. What did you possibly do differently, if any? What principles did you implement? Or if there's anything that you want to highlight out of the last renewal practices before we go into the ones this evening. So just want to kind of open up and share if you want to share.
Well, I remember last time we talked about one of the things that I guess something I mentioned and I noticed as we were having dialogue is to authenticate how you're feeling. And that's something that I have been continually doing. And that means if I need to shut some things down or I need to, take some time to focus more on being present, then that's what I was doing more so. Not that I wasn't doing it before, but you're asking about what was that recap piece? What was that takeaway? And it was that is to really authenticate, well, what am I feeling at the time so that I can honor that. And not only honor that validates my feelings for the day or the moment. And so I was able to utilize that.
Good. Thank you. Authenticate. Hope anything jumped out to you or you want to recap?
Well, for me, it was recognizing how I feel, and then what do I do when I recognize how I feel? What steps am I when I'm taking to, or intentions am I taking to attend to those things, or about how I'm feeling at the particular moment? So I've been working on that, being more intentional on understanding, how I'm feeling. and then what to do with what I'm feeling, what needs to be done. Do I need to step away? Do I need to write? Do I need to just take time to reflect and think about it and move forward in a different way? I'm also finding that I don't have to rush to these conclusions. I don't have to rush to these answers. I can take my time and just sit with it and understand why I'm feeling and what I am feeling and sit with it for a moment. I don't have to rush so then I can find out, what's going on and then how to move forward. And sometimes it takes time. Sometimes it takes, like for me, just stepping away from all the busyness or stepping away a moment from everything that's going on around me. And those
Yep.
things will be there when I'm when I'm done, but just being intentional about the stepping away and taking time to understand where I am.
Good, good, good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you both. Authenticate what you're feeling. What do you do when you recognize what you feel? All right. Those are all important to safeguard your well-being. Thank you so much. And audience, please feel free, if you were here the last time, we were talking about safeguarding your well-being. This evening, we're in part 2. Next week will probably be like a part 3, but more or less dealing with rushing and hurrying and those areas, because we really need to take care of that. So here's a few things I want to do today. First thing I want to focus on is, and they'll be very practical, very practical. That's what Tea Time is about: pausing, resetting, and building resilience. Is redirect, not react. Everybody write that down. Redirect, not react. Say,
Mm-hmm.
well, okay, that's a renewal practice. What do you mean about redirect and not react? Well, there are certain energies, certain perspectives, certain emotions, certain thoughts that come your way. The important thing is that we have to learn how to redirect what comes our way. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Many of us get inboxes, right? We get viral videos. People share content in our inboxes all the time. It's like, what is this? Something else, something else. Constant information. We have to redirect what we're hearing, redirect what we're getting from our senses. All right. If we know the information is not going to, or what we're being exposed to, it's not going to help, not going to uplift us, not going to build us, not going to strengthen us, then it's important that we learn how to redirect that. And what I mean by that is not necessarily fight against it. All right. In other words, when you try to understand something, it's often most effective to set aside your preconceptions and observe it. So you can look at it and say, okay, I'm getting this information. Here's what I'm seeing. Um, I'm going to just let it be and let it and I'm going to transform on my own. And I know many of us ask the question probably when we're dealing with a lot of emotions or thoughts that come, how do I clear my head when I'm getting all this information? It's constant. It's a barrage of information, and I'm trying to safeguard my personal well-being. So the first thing you're going to need to do is, what do you need to redirect? That's a big question I want to ask everyone tonight. What do you need to redirect? Whatever's being thrown at you right now, or what has been thrown at you, what do you need to redirect? Everybody meditate on that, okay? Think about it. The more you try to eliminate the thought, the more it just continues to come. So the thing is, just observe it. And when it does come, redirect it. So, Tea Time audience, I want you to think about, what do you need to redirect? Redirect, not react. What do you need to redirect is the first, I would say, renewal practice for tonight. And that's going to help us understand, sometimes it's not completely natural to do that. And the reason why it's not completely natural is because we're used to just looking at information and completely analyzing it when it comes. That is generally how we most of the time respond to something. Somebody sends you viral video, right? They send you some news. Sometimes you immediately can analyze it, right? And as soon as you get it, first thing you do is look at it, and there's a reaction or a response that it's supposed to foster in you. So what I want us to start practicing from a safeguarding perspective is, okay, you have this information, you're seeing what's happening in the world. What do you need to do to redirect? So my question is also posing is, when you redirect and not react, what does redirecting look like to you? And really think about that. What does it mean to you when you get information, something comes to you, is trying to impact your well-being, trying to bring you down, trying to bring you into its world? What does redirecting mean to you? Hope, any thoughts on that? Carmela, any thoughts on that? Or just overall, when you think about the word redirect and not reacting, what comes to your mind? And also, Tea Time audience, please put in the comments your thoughts, on redirect and not react, and what does redirect mean in your life? Any thoughts on that?
Well, I'll say
Thinking
with
through it.
redirect.
Mhm.
Well, I'll say with redirecting, it's kind of like just practical and simple. It's kind of like a navigation system.
Mhm.
Sometimes it reroutes you or redirects you to go another way because a lot of traffic in a certain area, accident in a certain area. So redirecting means that you're still going in the same, kind of place, but you're taking a different direction.
Mhm.
It's switched up. So your different direction might be a different in perspective, a different in mindset, a different in how you see a certain situation or circumstances. It's not like you're put to a stop, but you're redirecting. You're being redirected, meaning you're being taken on a different way of getting to where you need to go. It's a different
Mhm.
way. So that might be a different way of thinking, different way of seeing
Mhm.
something, but you're still in the direction, you're still moving. But again, I mean, I just thought in my mind because I visually see things, so it's kind of like I see like a GPS. I'm on my way there, and I get a
Mhm.
redirection to get off here to redirect me to get to me to where I need to go. So redirections are sometimes necessary. Sometimes we can't act with the redirection because sometimes like I got the this way, but there is a
Uh-huh.
reason. That's why we have to
Ye-
just stay the course and stay the direction, even with a redirection.
I want to lean in more into that your analogy about redirecting in terms of where you're going, like a GPS
Mhm.
or something. What would be your end destination if we can use that analogy? What would be Hope's end game? Like, what's your destination? If you're redirecting and you're going in the same place, but you're going a
Mhm.
different way, then what would be your end direction? Like, where do you want to be? You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
I know
well,
if I
again,
want to drive to the mall, I want to drive to the grocery store, but I'm
right.
going a different direction. What's your end game or your end target? Destination.
Well, well, the end target is important with the beginning. I need to have the information to know where I'm going. So I need to know where I'm going. Now, the thing
Okay.
about it is, I have to understand that I might switch, the route might change. I might be used to going, what I take, 85 all the way to Charlotte. I might be used to going that way, but it might redirect me on some side road. But I'm still in my GPS, it's still the same location, but I'm being redirected. And sometimes I have to
Mhm.
be open for the redirection, but I do understand that I'm going to get to the location. Might take a little bit longer, might be an unfamiliar place that I've never gone.
Uh-huh.
But the end thing is that the end is where I'm going, meaning what I put in the beginning, I already see, and that's where I'm going. But the rerouting is that there might be some different ways or different turns that I have to take en route to my destination. So the starting point is which where you want to go. Like you just said, you want to go to the mall. That's the
Okay.
starting point. It might be a
What
reroute to the mall, so you already placed in there where you want to go.
so if safeguarding is Hope's journey, then what is Hope's destination if she's going to safeguard? Hmm. I'm making you think. I know I'm asking all kind of
Yeah.
questions. I'm
So
digging
the
in.
safeguard
I-
is
If that's the
following.
journey, if
Yeah.
safeguarding is your journey, then what's your
Mhm.
destination in your GPS analogy?
Well, my
Is it peace?
destination is right. It's the destination that I can't go to a destination if I don't know where I'm going. I have to have a location in
Okay.
there. Yeah.
Okay.
It has to
So
be a location. Right.
gotcha. So I wanted everybody to think about that. I wanted to dig into this because when I think about this and I'm saying, okay, if it's a GPS, I'm thinking about redirecting. My question, my thought process is helping the audience think about where is your destination if you're safeguarding yourself? Where do
Right.
you really want to be?
Right.
If safeguarding is your journey, then I want us to think about what is the destination of that safeguarding? So I just wanted to dig or draw into your analogy. So thank you for bringing that up. Carmela, any thoughts, any inputs on redirect, not react, or just what does redirect mean to you? Thanks, Hope.
Excuse me. Actually, I wrote down the same thing Hope said. Basically, what I said was reroute. That was the first thing that I wrote down. Reroute. And what I was saying was taking an alternate route. An alternate route pretty much is an alternate way of thinking. So it's like, it's almost like there's a traffic jam going on. There's a whole lot going on. And as soon as all this is going on, there's somebody redirecting. Let's just say there's an official there that's redirecting traffic to go in another direction. Like we said, you're still going to get to the same destination, but you're going to see something that's different. You're going to encounter something different than what you're normally encountering on your normal route. And so it's a new way of thinking. It's a different way of thinking. And that whole rerouting, like you said, that whole journey, the rerouting is going to lead to where I want it to be, which is peace. I want to get to the place of reflection. I want to get to a place of alone time, or I want to get to a place of balance. And so really it's about me purposely and intentionally rerouting myself so I can see something different, so I can encounter something different.
Tell me, when you think about rerouting and you're seeing something different, what does see something different? How does that impact you from the safeguarding lens?
How does that affect me from the safeguarding lens? Well, what you would normally allow when you're not safeguarding.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? There's no boundaries there, or what you would normally allow, you won't do that. You would be safeguarding and looking at something else. You'll be preparing your mindset to kind of put up some, okay, wait a minute, here's some parameters. Here's how I'm on authenticate how I'm feeling. Like we talked about earlier, let me be real about what I'm doing. So let me reframe this whole thing. Let me redirect what I'm thinking, so that when I'm actually on this new course or this new way or new plan of action, well, the whole safeguarding is going to look different than me taking the normal route and just reacting. So now I'm responding. I'm responding in a new way versus me just reacting the normal way that, the normal route that I take.
That's good. And thank you all for answering. I'm digging in tonight because I'm digging in because
this is deep.
Yeah, because I think if we're going to safeguard, and Hope brought this up, so I'm blaming Hope for this, but since we both did, since you both used the same analogy, but I wanted to, when we think about redirect, and I bring this up again, everybody is seeing a path. You're absolutely right. You're seeing a journey. The journey here that we see, folks, is actually the journey of well-being. That's the journey of safeguarding. And so I want you to think about the destination of your safeguarding. What do you really want to see happen? What do you want to see as a result of you being on this safeguarding journey? Because there's a lot of information. And I get information too. There's a lot of conversations about what's happening in the United States and just across the world itself. And so it's important that we're able to acknowledge where we are and really deal with how am I showing up in a space of redirecting. All right.
Yeah.
So we got a couple of answers that are coming in. All right. Thank you, Tea Time audience. Again, everybody write down redirect, not react. Redirect, not react. Monique says here, shifting my perspective on how I see something or feel about an issue. Renita is saying redirection makes me think of a shift in focus. You want to take the next one, Carmela? Alicia?
Yes, Alicia, she's saying when I redirect, I'm not allowing myself to dwell or keep my focus on a thing. Whereas when I react, I am investing more and more of my focus and energy into something, good or bad.
All right. Crushing chemo. You want to take this one, Hope?
Redirection exposes me to other means, other venues, other opportunities that I may not have experienced if I have not shifted.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you so much. Monique says here, my destination or end game for is to foster a positive mindset. Sharon Week says, long pause, reevaluate my approach before reacting. When he came back again, my goal is to foster positive mindsets, which creates resiliency in today's society is filled with adversity. All right. And if I can add anxiety to that as well. All right. Thank you all again. The emphasis here in our first renewal practice is about redirecting, not reacting. I think that's one of the things I want us to be very deliberate about. Because again, there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of misinformation, there's information overload. And so when, don't try to get rid of the emotion. I do want to say that. Don't try to get rid of the emotion or get rid of the thought. Sit with it, observe, and that redirects it. Because immediately when you try to fight it, it's like, oh, what's going on here? Okay, it's there. It is a thought. It's an emotion. It's a feeling. It's there. That gives you the power over it. When you're able to sit with it, you get more power over it when you allow it to flow through you and you're experiencing the fullness of it. You can literally be aware and you start noticing things about you, noticing things about the thought or about the emotion, and then you're able to move forward versus just trying to go. Because I mean, there are things that hit me, and sometimes it's hard. You're in the middle of trying to flow, and here comes another one. Here comes another one. So no more fighting it, just observing it, sitting with it, and then redirecting it. All right. So redirect and not react. All right. Next renewal practice. Let's keep going. I say this all the time. All right. Don't absorb what you observe. Don't absorb what you observe. I love saying it, but it's important. All right. In the comments, put that out there. Don't absorb what you observe. I'll put it out there for us to just one more time meditate on this. Now, this is important because this deals with what we see.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Same thing, observing what I'm hearing, or I can say maybe don't react to what I hear. I hear something and I'm just immediately forming an opinion or putting my energy into something. I wrote something down here, Carmela and Hope, and I said, you're not a sponge. Don't soak up other people's negative energy.
That's right.
Yeah.
So no matter where it comes from, we're not a sponge. Well, yes, we are. Oh, no. You have the right to know what goes into your mind and into your life, into your head and heart space, and what's not in your head and heart space. Let's all put it out there. Don't absorb what you observe. You're not a sponge. Don't soak
Mm-hmm.
up other people's negative energy, their constant negative vibes, negative mindsets, negative perspectives. Thank you very much. Acknowledge it and keep moving so that you don't take on what's not yours. Okay. It doesn't mean that you don't empathize. Empathy doesn't mean taking it on. I just want to make sure we understand that too. Empathy is more about identifying with where someone is. All right. But we're not going to soak in. I mean, just soak in the energy, because you know what happens when you soak in with the sponge, right? It smells like it. It absorbs it. It takes it in. It's hard to get the smell out. It's in it until you squeeze it out. So it's important that we don't absorb what we're observing right now. All right. I want to make sure we understand that. That's the second, I would say, renewal practice for safeguarding your well-being. Any thoughts on that, Carmela, as far as your thoughts on not absorbing, or Hope, any thoughts on that? When you think about this, what does this mean to you as a renewal practice in safeguarding?
Well, to me, oh, go ahead, Hope. You go
No,
ahead.
you go. Right.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I mean, I just keep it short and sweet. I think, we're not responsible for other people's emotions, but we are responsible for ourselves and what we, intake. And so you have to step back a bit. And like you said, the sponge, don't absorb what you observe. Of course, that doesn't mean that what you're seeing is not valid. It's just how we are we going to respond to, what we are seeing or encountering in
I
a
appreciate
productive
that.
way, like we talked about last, in a productive way.
Mhm.
Going back to what
I
you said about safeguarding.
Yeah,
Excuse me. Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the focus on not saying that it's not valid, because it is valid.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And
Yeah, it
so
is.
that's important that we do validate
Mhm.
where we are. Thank you for pointing that out. I do want to say we're not talking about being dismissive by no
Right.
means. Acknowledge, validate, but that doesn't mean that you stay with it and let that rule us and rule it. That's emotions and thoughts. It's both. All right. So we can drive it to a positive outcome or a productive outcome. All right. Hope any thoughts on that as well.
I do. Well, I just want to say that this is very important, being that we are in an age of social media and information overload, and it can become very easy to absorb what we're seeing on these particular different platforms. That's just practical, and that's reality. That is what's going on right now. And so
Mhm.
it's important that we know not to take in all of these informations, or understanding that I'm not absorbing what is being shown, what is being seen in different channels and different avenues, what's going on my job, what's going on in the news, what's going on in social media. And so it's just an overload of information. And so this is just really important, that we're taking accountability for myself. I can control myself and what I'm absorbing, and
Right.
what
Mhm.
I'm seeing. I can set those boundaries so that I won't be
Mhm.
able to absorb everything I see. Like you said, it's not that it's not reality or it's not real or not, factual. It's just the intake of just so many different things can become overwhelming and overloading. And so the practice that you put there, that is very important, when we're operating and moving in today's society, and different functions and things that we do in life. It's very important. So I've always taken it, because you say that all the time. You always say that, and so I can remember when it becomes the time where I'm like, wait a minute, I don't need to absorb that, even though it's real. I don't have to be responsible for taking on everything.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
And I want to help us emphasize, don't make it a part of you because you observe it. And it's so important that we don't soak it up. Okay, we're not sponges like that. Yes, we do pick up things from time to time. I'm not saying that at all. All right. But I think it's important to, focus more on, am I being a sponge in this situation because of what we're seeing, what's happening? And to go back to Carmela's point, yes, we do validate. And to go back up to the beginning, I think both of you talked about authentication, being authentic, and hope you talked about recognizing what do you do when you, so when you're aware. I'd like to encourage us to witness the emergence of a thought, to witness the emergence of the emotion, and then you witness it dissipate. Okay. It we just sometimes we just stay there and hold on to it and ruminate. We do, you know, and then it becomes like reality to us. So it's important that we think through ways to redirect. And one way we can do that is by not absorbing what we observe and making it a part of who we are and staying there. So again, I want to say, witness what you're feeling, witness when it arises, when it emerges, but also you can witness it dissipate. And Carmela and Hope, I don't think sometimes we stay around enough to witness a thought or emotion dissipate. Sometimes I think we just stay with it. That's the importance of us locating ourselves at the beginning of tea time. We've had thoughts all day, emotions all day. We've had things going all day. Now we're going to take a time to pause and, okay, let me take some control over this. Let me witness it dissipate. Let me witness this disappear. Let it relinquish. It's moving out. That's important that we're doing that. And that puts you back in the driver's seat. It puts you back into power. All right. And it's important that we're able to do that. Got another comment coming in. You can take this one, Carmela, from Tina.
Tina, she's saying redirecting is more self-controlled. Reacting is demonstrating what was demonstrated. Logic versus emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. All right. We'll
Yeah.
take this one as well from Renita.
Renita, she's saying someone aka Patrick Brown, once said,
Mhm.
there's a difference between being supportive and carrying too heavy a load. You have to care for your space and check what you allow in. There's freedom in that. That's right.
Mm,
Thanks,
mm,
sis.
mm, mm. Care for your space.
Yeah.
Care for your space. Absolutely. Care for your space.
Yeah.
All right. So, again, one more time, don't absorb what you observe. That's the next phase. We're going to work on this, folks. Okay. Because I'll say this, how you treat you matters. How you treat you, it does matter. And so that's why I want to share this about observing. Let's the third one. Third one is have conscious composure.
Mm.
Let's sit with that. I'm gonna let that stay up there for a moment. Conscious composure. Everybody good? Conscious composure. Not carrying what's yours. Not being a victim of leeches. I want everybody to put in the comments, this is theirs, not mine. That is theirs, or this is theirs, not mine. Having conscious composure. I thought about that and I was reading. I want you to think about this visualization exercise. You said, what? Visualization? Yeah. You're going to use our imaginations real quick. I want you to just visualize a glass between you and that negativity. Visualize there's a glass between you and the negative on the other side. What is actually happening when there's a glass between you and the negative on the other side if you visualize it? Come on, T-timers. Any thoughts out there? Carmela, any thoughts out there? Think about that. And I want you to just think about it. You don't have to verbalize right now if you want to just process this, but I want you to think about this is a glass between you and the negativities on the other side, the negative email, the negative posting, the negative information overload, the negative viral video, constantly barraging your thoughts, your mind, your space. That's what I want you to think about when we think about composure. Conscious composure is like having this glass between you and the negative thought and the negative emotion that's trying to get in your space. When you set that kind of emotional boundary, that cognitive boundary, that logical, because it's not just emotion, it's also thoughts. Okay, we're not going to elevate thoughts and put emotions on here, or elevate emotions and put thoughts down there. They're both on the same track, just going in different directions. So I want us to visualize, really think about that. The next time I get this information that somebody else is constantly complaining about, yes, I'll be empathic, but I got to make sure that there is some type of glass between me and what I'm observing. That is conscious composure. This is theirs, not mine. All right? There's incredible power in that type of composure. Pausing, resetting, building resilience. Tea Time Tuesday. All right? That is what we're doing today. And I wanted to really focus on composure because I was thinking about this. And this is about how we allow, when we allow ourselves to be composed, what you are experiencing, it morphs. It morphs because you're allowing. Conscious means I'm making a decision to be composed. So I want everybody to think about the last thing you reacted to and did not respond to. And I want you to think about How am I going to have conscious composure the next time I encounter something? Locate yourself. This is theirs, not mine. I don't want to intake a barrage of this. And again, all right, the next situation you're dealing with someone, something, information, I want you to imagine there's a glass. There's a glass between you and that person, or a glass between you and that situation. You can see it, but you can't touch it, right? It's not going to come upon you, but you're observing it, but not internalizing it. All right, T-timers. Again, these are renewal practices that's going to help us move forward in safeguarding our well-being. One way we can do it is by showing what I call conscious composure. Again, you're not a sponge. You don't soak up other people's negativity. All right. And then the last one I want to focus on, and I think we really will dig into this one, and this will be our last one for this evening, is 2 questions. Where is my attention, and what is my intention? Get those in your journal if you're journaling. If you're taking notes, I want you to think about this. Where is my attention, and what is my intention regarding safeguarding or regarding this energy, this negative thought process that I'm getting? See, the goal here is again, it's not that we're trying to avoid getting triggered. It's understanding why you do get triggered. So we ask ourselves when we're trying to safeguard our well-being, where's my attention? Now, this is something I think all of us can answer. So Tea Time community, I want you to think about, where is your attention? Ask yourself this question: where is my attention? What is my intention? And I just kind of want to flow into this, Carmela and Hope, and kind of just provide some perspective here. Because when we have intention, that means we're deliberate about the result. When we have attention, that is about what we're looking at. For those of you from the Renewal Center, Pastor Carmela preached a message about gaze on Sunday. Please go back and listen to that. And again, that goes back to attention. It does. It goes back to, what are we attending to? What are we giving our focus to? What are we giving our emphasis to? That's important, because when we are able to look at intention and we're able to look at attention, that helps us recognize where we are, and that moves us to a place of awareness. That helps us with awareness. That helps you reset your calm instantly. So something tries to come or brings a trigger, you immediately can go and say, where's my attention? And what is my intention in this? So you inhale for a few moments and you immediately reset when you just pause. You immediately reset when you just breathe in. And come on, everybody, 4 seconds. Go work with me. 4 seconds. Breathe in. Hold it. And go ahead and let it out. You just reset yourself just now. So when you see it, you get that should be, where's my attention? What is my intention? I'm going to reset. Because the thought comes, first of all, just, okay. I mean, isn't that better than just rushing? I'm just going to say what I got to say. I'm just going to, hold on. I got some awareness. I authenticate. I'm recognizing. I'm experiencing it. What that is doing for you is it's helping you become more accustomed to what flows into you and what flows out of you. Because you know what, Mel, you know what, Hope? Sometimes we talk about things that aren't even our words. We're just talking. We're taking on something that somebody else is saying and let it flow out of us. They say it and then we end up saying it. And then we just absorbing. So sometimes we got to reverse the flow and start looking inwardly and not letting what's on the outside get to what's on the inside and talking about external matters, and train myself to become more intimate with what's going on inside of me. Now, I do want to ask, when we think about tea timers, where is your attention? Where's my attention? And what is my intention? I want you to see this from a perspective of safeguarding. What am I attending to? Because all the stuff that pours out of our mouth, how many words are really mine? Have I borrowed what somebody else says? I'm conservative, I'm liberal, I'm this, I'm progressive. Am I just saying stuff just to say it? Am I just absorbing it? Or am I quietly observing what goes on inside and outside of me? See, that's the whole purpose of the tea time, is the pausing helps you with observation. Carmela, you talked about it earlier about rerouting. Hope you talked about it earlier about recognizing. The quiet observation helps us understand what are we giving attention to. So one of the things that you can do to help safeguard your well-being is to stay in the present. You stay in the now and your thoughts will rest instead of, because I know, and you probably would agree, is the more that you think about what happened was, or the more that you project what you think will happen, what happens, right? The more that I think about what happened back then, or what I think is going to happen, then there's a certain way that I now lose my power. I lose the power of my awareness, and I don't examine what I'm feeling. I don't see the reality that whatever I'm facing right now and I'm seeing right now, it is impermanent in nature. This is not going to be permanent. So it gives you a sense of bringing your mind to the present, and eventually your thoughts will rest. But the majority of us, what we do is we keep focusing on what happened, or we're focusing on the information we're getting that causes us to dread or fear or doubt the future, and we don't stay in the present right now because we're clouded. We either linger on the past or linger on the future. So I really want us to think about that tea time community from a renewal practice perspective is, where is my attention and what is my intention? Instead of repeating over and over, it's awful. Now, yes, the price of eggs are awful. It's awful. It's awful. Oh, the price of eggs. I'm going to start paying for my beard with eggs. Can I just give you some eggs and you can shake me up? You know, just it's awful. Okay. It's awful. Okay, that's fair. But nothing is permanent. Yes, it's awful. But what am I going to do to gain more power over something that I can't change? Unless you got your own chickens in the backyard. So, you see where we're going? You're not taking it seriously. Well, I mean, what am I going to do? So, again, keep your mind on what's in front of you now, which is my state of mind, my state of emotion, my state of, I have conscious composure. I'm thinking through what is my attention, where is my attention, and what is my intention. And what ends up happening is you start realizing that it's impermanent. All right, I've said a lot, but I just wanted to go through those last two renewal practices. What thoughts do you have? Responses, feedback, insights, hope? Carmela, a tea time audience, any thoughts?
Well, I like the second part of your last tea time nugget there. What is my intention? I like that because that puts you back into the driving seat of saying, well, what is my next step? What am I going to do with this? What am I going to do? And what systems do I have in place to safeguarding?
Hope any thoughts on that too? Thank you, Carmela.
Well, At this moment, I'm taking everything in. I got some journal, inserts that I want to do to reflect more on this. So I'm just kind of sitting with everything that was
Yeah.
released tonight, so that I can go and journal and take my time with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And thank you. I know I said a lot, and I know this is really helping us safeguard. And I hope this is really reflective. One of the things that I wrote also in my notes, just as I was preparing, this constant stream of information, it creates a sense of constant urgency. That's what it does, and that's why we got to safeguard. The goal is to bombard you to keep you into a perpetual state of urgency. What was
Hmm.
oh, Alice in Wonderland, the whole rabbit, right? Just
Mhm.
I'm just running around late. And then the chest, I think it was the cat that said, well, where are you going? Yeah, I don't know. He didn't even know where he was going. He just running.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, where are you going? The cat is asking
Great
him, what's
analogy.
going on? I have no idea, but you running all over the place.
Great
Woo.
analogy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. That's the truth,
Mm-hmm.
though.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important that, the whole goal of this whole safeguarding emphasis, and I really hope you understand why we're doing this, is because when we don't do this, we will be overloaded with a constant stream of information, and all it does is create a sense of constant urgency in your life. Carmela and I were talking earlier today, and I shared with her something that I read, and I remembered it was about uh, hurry is not the result of a disordered schedule. It is a result of a disordered heart. I was like, oh, because I'm such in disorder internally that everything else becomes hurry. And so when we don't safeguard ourselves with all this misinformation and overload and not safeguarding ourselves, what happens is I call it a fear of missing out. So we just stay stuck. CNN, CNBC, NBC, ABC, Fox, we just stuck. I don't want to miss out what's going on in the world. And so we just become involved with our whole life is this, just hamster in the wheel, treadmill lifestyle. And all it does is create a sense of urgency and a fear of missing out. And what it does is you fear that you're gonna miss something. I'm just gonna keep up with the ever evolving world. You cannot keep up with it. So the best thing to do is don't absorb it. Take a step back. Take a step back, everybody. Put that in the comments. Step back. Take a step back. Locate yourself. Why y'all locating yourself? You can pause it. I got something else to got to do. Again, the desire to stay ahead of the information, you know what that is? That's a lifestyle that I call perpetual rushing. Sometimes watch Sassy eat, my dog. Sassy taste food. Just oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God. Take a step back. Oh, I just put the pail down.
You got to give Sassy a breakdown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, as
Oh,
soon as you
goodness.
put it down, let's go in. I'm like, geez, but you know what? Sometimes we're like that.
Oh,
Didn't taste it at
goodness.
all. I was like, did you taste it? And we're like that. That's how we look when we don't safeguard. It's perpetual rushing. It's a desire to stay ahead. Because I'm bringing the pail of food to her. She's like, just getting ready, boy. Hurry up, And as soon as and it's like sometimes we're like that. It's Pavlovian, right? Ring the bell, dog salivates. Sometimes what they call learn helplessness or learn behaviors. We're trained to look at that phone as soon as that thing pings. Some of y'all traumatized. Listen to your team's pings, ping, ping. You hear it, you just immediately going looking at the screen, boy. As soon as you hear that ping, you're right there looking at it. Your mind is trained. So again, this stream of data is just urgency, and you better hurry up and respond to that thing too. And you know what that does? All that does is, Camilla, it's a sense of urgency. And
yes,
you know,
it is.
And all it is perpetual rushing. We got to safeguard ourselves from that. Okay.
I agree. Because I believe there's no requirement for that.
Yeah.
That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah. Oh, wow. We're at time. I'm so sorry. I didn't look at the time. All right, everybody. We're almost done. Hold on a second. Let's take a pause here. I would like to hear from our Tea Time community. What are your takeaways? We've done 2 of these renewal practices for Tea Time on safeguarding your well-being. We're going to stay on this. We'll be back to this again on next Tuesday. I think this is a subject we need to continue to work on. All right. And again, the reason why we're focusing on it is because of what's happening around us. We just want to provide that space, all right, for us to be able to acknowledge where we are, stay in the present, and then let those things pass. So I'd like to hear from our tea timers. What are your takeaways this evening? What are your takeaways? Those that are watching replay, let us know what your thoughts are. What are you thinking? What's new? What are you going to concentrate on? Got a few comments that came in. Carmela, you want to take this one?
Yes. Monique is saying the renewal practices shared are practical and effective tools that can be used to deflect negativity and to safeguard our mental well-being. Thank you. Yes.
You're welcome. Hope you want to take this one.
Sure. Nothing is permanent is a reality check. This is a reminder not to make unnecessary things take up space. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to take these.
Sharon, she's saying truly a necessity, redirecting to safeguard.
All right. Everybody's going to take a step back. All right. Like it. Step back. Important that we take a step back. What are some takeaways? Crescent chemo check. Takeaway. Embrace the present moment with a positive perspective and the willingness to be intentional in placing parameters to safeguard my mental, emotional well-being. All right. All right. Anybody else? What are your takeaways? What are your thoughts? What are some things you're going to concentrate on again? I really want to take some time for us to think about this. Shared a lot tonight, but I think it's important that we spent this time doing that this evening. So a couple of comments. As your comments are coming in, we're going to go through a few of our announcements. And I just want to share a few of our announcements here and we bring these up. All right. Carmela?
Yes, ladies, we want to remind you that this coming Saturday, which is March the 1st, we're going to continue our studies at the Women at the Well Bible Study series, where we are still in chapter 1 of the book study that we're in with Cynthia Hale's book, Becoming a Woman Whose God is Enough. We would like to invite every lady to join us. We're going to start off at 10 o'clock with our virtual fellowship if you would like to come, and Bible study begins promptly at 10:30. So set your time to come and join us. You can sign up. Just go to our social media pages and you'll find out the link where you can sign up and you can find out more information about the Women at the Well Bible Study. Hope to see you Saturday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, we've been on the Kingdom of God series, everyone, and Reforming Culture is Wednesday. Join us tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. We have been diving in this incredible teaching, and we would love for you to join us every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. for Reforming Culture.
Thank you so much. And then also want to just encourage you to come out to our New You Digital Discipleship each and every Sunday at 10 a.m. Please register by downloading our mobile app as well. You can reach out to that. You can download in our website as well. And be a part of our digital discipleship New You community each and every Sunday at 10 a.m. We'll be live this coming Sunday at 10 a.m. as well. So please watch us on our social media sites as well. We definitely want to connect with you and you'd be a part of our Tea Time and Renewal Center community. So thank you so much. And Hope, I want to, if you can you talk a little bit about our upcoming prophetic gathering?
Sure. This is the 6th prophetic gathering, and we're inviting you to join us on April the 4th through the 5th. This is going to be great. We have some great facilitators and teachers that will be there that will be sharing. Registration is open. And come on, let's get registered. Let's get registered and invite a friend. It's going to be in North Carolina and Charlotte. Concord. This is going to be a great time. If you haven't registered, please register. The information is inside of the chat. If you've never been to one of the prophetic gatherings, this is your time to come and join us. We invite you to join us and take part in this time of great impartation and revelation and so much that's going to be released. I know that I'm definitely looking forward, and I hope to see you all there.
All right. Thank you so much. And yes, I did put it in the comments, everyone. If you just click on that link, you can register. All right. We want you to be a part of that. And then lastly, of course, if this is your first time or you're just, you reconnect with us here at the Renewal Center, just want to encourage you to partner with the Renewal Center. Really appreciate you being a part of our community, being a part of who we are. And here are the ways that you can donate to the Renewal Center. I want to share that with you. Again, what you can do is you can go to our website at therenewalcenters.com/give. Therenewalcenters.com/give. You can also text the Renewal Center. This is an incredible way to have a secure giving. If you type in 888-364-4483 and type in the Renewal Center, you can give that way. Also, you can give through a mobile app. We have PayPal and Zelle, which is the Renewal Center 2020@gmail.com. And then also our Venmo at Renewal Center, and then Renewal Center Cash App. There are other additional ways you can give through mailing a check or money order to the P.O. Box 1381 Concord, North Carolina 28026. So I'd ask you to take some time to donate to the Renewal Center. We are a nonprofit organization, and we look forward to you being a part of it. You're helping us support all of our programming, support all of our digital content, our New You Digital Discipleship Reforming Culture, our Tea Time community, and our current and future vision of revealing Christ, renewing minds, restoring lives, and reforming culture. We want you to be a part of that. So I thank you for considering us this evening, being a part of our community, and we appreciate all of those that are connecting with us as Tea Timers. All right, we got a couple of comments and takeaways that are coming in. All right. Let's see here. Anita says, this is Anita Andrews, to not absorb what I observe. All right. Hope, can you take Renita's?
Sure. My takeaway: to not absorb what I observe. I may need to start assessing what I'm choosing to observe, save myself some stress and overstimulation.
All right. Thank you. All right. Come on, you can take this, Daphne's.
Daphne, she's saying put boundaries in place so you're not absorbing or becoming overwhelmed by what's going on in the world. Also, take a step back, deep, breathe, and reset.
All right.
That's good.
All right. Any last thoughts before we close out? I think we've gotten our announcements in. Thank you both again. This has been great. Appreciate all of our Tea Time communities. Want to encourage you, please follow us on our YouTube channel. If you're actually haven't followed us on the Renewal Center, please click on follow the Renewal Center and subscribe to our YouTube channel at I Am Renewal in both areas so that you can connect with us and stay connected. We'll be putting more content and connecting more, even at our YouTube channel as well. So we want you to be able to go back and replay. So before we close out, I'm just going to bring back up our Locate Yourself video, and let's pause. And then that will close out our tea time. All right. As you remember, I am Renewal, and let's take care of each other. And we look forward to seeing you the next time, next Tuesday at 12 p.m. Have a good evening.